Hey math kids, today we're going to talk about quadratic equations. We're going to start on example 6, and this will definitely be broken up into two videos. So we have 3x squared plus 5x equals 0. And we're also going to look at x squared equals 5x plus 6. So as we do this one, we want to factor out an x, which leaves 3x plus 5. If we were to distribute this x back in, we'd get this white equation up here. Now we use that zero product property that we talked about in the previous lesson, and we get x equals 0 and 3x plus 5 equals 0. That's already solved for x, so we're done with that. This we just subtract 5. We divide by 3, and x equals negative 5/3. So we get two answers for that one. Okay, this one we need to use a factoring method. So since it's quadratic, meaning x squared right here, we need to subtract everything onto the same side. I'm going to switch colors. So that leaves us with x squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. And so we can do our t factoring method right here. 1, 6, 2, 3. We want to add up to a negative 5. So we would do one of those. We want it to also multiply back to a negative 6. So those are the only ones that would multiply back, because this would be a positive 6 down here. And so we get x plus 1, x minus 6. And from there, we use our zero product property again. X plus 1 equals 0, x minus 6 equals 0. So we subtract 1, we add 6, and so those are our two answers. Now we're going to move on to example 7. And it wants us to solve for x again. 6x squared equals 11x plus 10. Okay, so for both of these, we will have to get them all on the same side. So subtract 4x. So we get 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 equals 0. And we are going to use something called box method. So 4 times 1 gives us a 4, 1 and 4, 2 and 2. We want it to add up to a negative 4, so negative 2 and negative 2. We draw a box, put this one and this one in the box in these spots. And then what we're going to do is we're going to split this into two terms based on this. So it's negative 2x, negative 2x. Doesn't matter where you put those two, even if they were different. And then we just need to factor out what we can. So we can factor out a 2 from here. We can factor out an x. And from here we can just factor out a 1. From this column right here, we factor out a 2x. From this column, we factor out just a 1. Now, we need to pick signs so we get the right signs in here. So if we were to do 2x times 2x, we'd get a positive 4x squared. So that's good. But if we do 2x times 1, we're not going to get a negative. So I'm going to put a negative on this 1. Same thing here. A 1 times a 2x is not going to give me a negative 2x. So instead I need to do that. And so that gives us 2x minus 1. And 2x minus 1. When we do that, we can think of that as 2x minus 1 squared. And then we can continue to solve that. So I will solve that right below here. This is still equal to 0. So if we have 2x minus 1 quantity squared equals 0, we square root both sides. We get 2x minus 1 equals 0. Then we add 1, and we get 2x equals 1. Divide both sides by 2. And so x equals 1/2 on that one. Okay, coming up to this next one, we need to get everything on the same side. Okay, all that cancels, so we get 0 on this side. We get 6x squared minus 11x minus 10 equals 0. We do 6 times 10 to get 60. Break up 60 into 1, 60, 2, 30, 3, 20, 4, 15, 5, 12, 6, 10. And we're trying to make that into negative 11. And so, let's see, which one? This one will give us that. So we have a negative 15. We draw our box again. 6x squared, negative 10, 4x, negative 15x. Once again, I got the 4 and the negative 15 from there. Then we want to factor out whatever we can. This is a 3x. This is just a 2. This is a 2x, and this is a negative 5. I chose negative because they were both negative. And so that leaves me with 3x plus 2 and 2x minus 5. Equals 0. And because of the zero product property, I can take both of those individually. And I'm going to bring them down here. So I get 3x plus 2 equals 0, as well as 2x minus 5 equals 0. And then I just need to do the algebra on those. So I minus 2, 3x equals negative 2. And then divide by 3, x equals negative 2/3. And this one I'm going to add 5, 2x equals 5, divide by 2, x equals 5/2. And those are the two answers for that quadratic. There is a part 2 to this. If you need additional help, come to Math Lab and Calculator till part 2.